So this is where we started. The bottom two steps had been subsumed by the garden, so they were underwater. And then to add injury to this, we had elevated the gardens, which meant the backyard turned into a pond. So we decided to do something else. And my rule is everything I build now needs to outlast me. I'm that old, so granite lasts a long time. So this is Ken Fengler came in with this very groovy little, very narrow tractor that he could bring in these granite slabs. So he dug out the holes for those, and then he'd run off to his truck and grab one of them. And it's small enough that it would go through this little tiny 3-foot hole. And that's Ken and Nancy. Back in the days when you could have people in your house. So I made these treads out of composites, so they don't need paint and should last forever. They're biscuit jointed together with the miters and everything. And then there's the cedar posts that I ran through the planer and then wrapped everybody in aluminum. Because part of the problem is the irrigation turns on every couple of days and waters the steps. So now we took the cobblestones that we used to make the bottom landing, and Nancy's knocking the cement off from those. Just cleaning them up, because we're going to reuse those to build a wall around some of the gardens. But it's really amazing how bleak it is out here at that time of year. And then I dug a gutter along the side of the steps and underneath the steps, and that connects to the drain pipe off the gutter pipe, and then that's going to go underground and comes out there and then attaches to a pipe and goes all the way down to the low end of the yard. And now Ken is here with the air spade. So this thing it's hooked up to a giant compressor out in the driveway, and it just pulverizes the dirt and turns it into this like sand, so you can just pick it up real easily. It made an easy way to dig a big old trench, because we buried 2 4-inch pipes, and that's his son was helping us. So once we got the pipe buried in there, that's in the black tarp, as the 2 pipes are buried underneath that. And then we had to dig out 4 inches deep for where the new path goes on top of it to cover everything. And we did all that and threw it in plastic buckets. And it was super hot, and there they are. So that the Hyundai was way over its load limit going to the landfill there. So, and now we got some GoPro fast action video working here, so you can see how incredibly fast this all went. So we did this in like an hour. So now we're pulling in the cobblestones, leveling, and then pea stones on top of that, and dropping in those bricks every 3 or 4 feet there. Just for aesthetics, and also there's Tom, and also just break it up so that the pea stone doesn't flow away. And right in the middle of this mess was this rock that was in the garden.
He called it Stonehenge. We're moving the pyramids.
Fortunately, Tom showed up and said, I got a pry bar. We can wiggle it, so I figure if we could wiggle it, we could probably move it. So, we managed to wiggle it until it left. Then tried to wiggle it out of our way, so slid it along those 2x4s very slowly, and yeah, there it goes. Come on, move, rock, move. New board, and there's the last push, and finally off onto that board, and it eventually got out of our way. And there it is, out of our way. So now we can keep going. I got 40 new cobblestones. The other ones we ran out of when we did the surrounding the gardens. And what we're doing is we're digging this stuff up. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got these sieves. That's what Nance was doing there. She's sorting the rocks out, because there were a whole bunch of rocks in the dirt. So we would salvage the rocks that were in the dirt, and then that would make really nice dirt that we could put somewhere back in the garden. So we were making good dirt and good rocks. And then down at the bottom, there's going to be this granite pad is what we're working on now. So I got over at Swenson's bunch of, they look like cobblestones, but they're 24 by 12 or whatever size. And Ken cut a couple of those down to the 6-inch dimension for me because that wasn't a stock item. And then we had to beat the edges of them up so they wouldn't look all neat and clean. So the landscape cloth is under that, and then pea stone. So that's all permeable too. So the water goes through that whole landing. And I haven't done this before, so I'm figuring it out as I go. So I don't know. I figured they're rocks. I got them more or less level. There was a lot of head scratching going on here, but you know, if it doesn't work, you take it out and do it again, and again, and again. We're getting there. Yep, that's it. Up, do it again. Yep, almost. Yep, almost. I think that's kind of it. And then we had to fill in the dirt around that. So we're just covering that up. And then I get to finish the pea stones. I thought that quote was appropriate. Lost a few pounds in this process. Then you fill in the little rocks around the granite, and there it is. Nance added the little bricks and the coleus right there too, which is really sweet. And I'm really happy to report we've had a couple of huge rainstorms.
Not bad.
And it no longer pools up in the backyard, and you can't even see where it's going, so it just leaches perfectly to the back of the yard and goes away and disappears basically. So no more pool. And that's it. That's the new path in the time of retirement and coronavirus.